Hey, what's up, everybody? So, coming to you this morning with a quick what's next on Jose Zepeda, the former two-time world title challenger. He's currently my number 4 fighter in the 140-pound junior welterweight division. He returned in early July to take on, he was supposed to take on former champion Ivan Baranchyk in what was a big-time crossroads fight between those two. The winner really would have put themselves with a big step forward. There are two avoided fighters, so it was a good matchup. And then Baranchyk got hurt or tested positive. Somebody tested positive. Something happened with Baranchyk to where he could not compete. And Zepeda had to go forward. He fought in the main event, got a 10-round decision against some nobody. So, now moving forward, what's next for Jose Zepeda? Well, again, like I said, Zepeda is a guy who's widely avoided, especially since he's the guy. In 2019, he had a huge year. In February, he challenged Jose Ramirez for the world title, the WBC title, and came up just short. It was a very good fight. It was a fight that many people felt he lost in the championship rounds because Ramirez put pressure on him a little more. But it was very close. It ended by a majority decision in favor of Ramirez. But people grew a lot of respect. And then Ramirez went on and shot straight to the top of the division when he unified titles by knocking out Maurice Hooker. That only upgraded Zepeda's, resume and his what would you call it? His ranking in the division, where he is. And right now I got him number 4 behind the big 3, which is Taylor, Ramirez, and Regis Prograis. So right now he's one of those guys, though, it's probably going to be avoided because he came back in September and he did himself another solid and he dominated Jose Pedraza, former 2-division world champion, dominated him over 10 rounds, a clean 10-round unanimous decision. I think the judges had it at worst was 7 rounds to 3. He pretty much outboxed him, outclassed him, and got his career best win in that fight, and is now trying to get into a big fight, and Baranchyk was that. So we know Baranchyk could still be an option. Zepeda said he'd still like to fight him later on. If not, I think he needs to try to get himself into a final eliminator in either the WBC or the WBO, because he's ranked number 3 by both of those governing bodies right now. I think the WBO would probably be more plausible because there's only Liam Paro ahead of him at number 2. Number 1's Jack Catterall, but Jack Catterall has a guaranteed title shot next. He's probably going to fight the winner of Ramirez and Postal. So that would kind of put him in line for an eventual title shot probably in 2021, the second half of 2021. So I would lean towards that one. There's also the WBC, though, which I hear Regis Prograis and Pablo Cesar Cano are talking. They're not the number 2 and the number 4 fighters there. And what's his name's number 3 is Zepeda. So, but those fights aren't guaranteed yet. And I think he needs to try to get in line for one of those, Prograis or Pablo Cesar Cano, to try to move up the ladder, because Postal's cashing in on his mandatory in the next fight, and then they're going to need a new one to be established. And that belt, either one of those titles, the WBC or the WBO belt, can become vacant, because it can become vacant very easily, because Ramirez really wants to fight wants to fight Josh Taylor next, and he might have to give up the WBO belt to do that. But I think he'd be willing to give up the WBC belt too, if that's what it took. So I think Zepeda needs to wait around for Ramirez's fight at the end of August against Postal, and then see what he's trying to do next. If he's gonna forego his mandatory, maybe Jack Catterall would fight Liam Paro, or he'd fight Jose Zepeda next for the vacant title. Maybe maybe the WBC belt would become vacant, and he could compete against Regis Prograis, because it would be him and Regis Prograis, the top 2 guys. So I think he needs to wait around to see what Ramirez is going to do, and then decide what he's going to do after that. But he's right in that title picture, and if he doesn't get any of those, stay fucking busy. Stay busy. Come back for the end of the year, get another win. Try to get Baranchyk, but keep your eyes locked in on those 2 governing bodies where you're ranked very high, the WBC and the WBO. So that's it. That's the what's next on former 2-time world title challenger Jose Zepeda. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.